Hey, Jordan here from Jack and Strong video series. Just going to go through the warm-up that I did for last night's session. Last night's session focuses on overhead press, but I did a bit of everything. And to be honest, for a lot of the guys that are out there strength training to get Jack and Strong, they can do this warm-up for any session and it would probably be better than what they're doing. That's not to say that I'm some sort of a wizard genius, but it's pretty decent and it covers all the areas of the body. 3 hip mobility drills. We're going to go lying hip circles, hip rollovers, Cossack squat, 2 thoracic mobility drills. Basically anything that's going to help me get better extension over my head. So band dislocates and band overhead distraction, 2 scap exercises. What I'm looking for there is just kind of scapular control and activating some muscles in and around the scapula. So scap push-ups and scap floor slides. 2 glute activation exercises. I'm going to do an X-band walk and a glute march, and then 2 midsection exercises. Ring fallouts, and usually for the midsection, it just kind of refers to two sets. I'll just do 1 exercise for 2 sets. And for all of these things, throughout all of my warm-ups, generally the reps are going to fall between 8 and 15 for each movement in each set. And the reason for that is, yeah, they're very low intensity, but if you get much beyond that, you get into some fatigue, and you don't really have the goal in mind though. You want the quality to be really high. So on scapular push-ups, I don't want it to look like I'm just chicken necking into the ground. I want it to be high. I really want to feel my scapula spread apart and come back together. So that's why you want to go just 8 to 15 reps. It's enough to get a little bit of work in, a little bit of activation, warm you up, but it's not so high that fatigue is affecting the quality. And always keep the goal in the mind. This is part of your warm-up. This is for activation. It's for mobility, and that's the goal. You're not out there drilling this warm-up like you are killing deadlifts or something. So keep the goal in mind, and that will guide you throughout it. When in doubt on the warm-up stuff, make it easier. Okay, so we're just going to go through this. Like I said, last night I did 10 reps for everything, but I'm just going to do 3 or 4 here today, just so that you can get a picture of what it is. So Paul's going to follow me around, and I'll talk my way through it. So the first thing, lying hip circles. I know a lot of people do these in a quadruped position. I like to add the stability of the ground so I can get mobility in the hips. Keep everything flat on the ground, giant circles, okay, in one direction. I'm going to do both legs, then giant circles in the other direction. Again, everything staying flat on the ground. I'm going to do both legs, both directions. Hip rollovers, same position, knees as close together as possible, everything flat on the ground, over until your knees touch the ground. Look at the opposite hand. So if my legs are coming to the left, look at the right hand. Okay, pretty simple. Now a little bit more involved. I'm going to get up. I'm going to do a Cossack squat. Okay, toes pointed out at like a 30 to 45 degree angle. Sit back onto the heel. Okay, sit back onto the heel. If you want to get a better stretch, look at the toe when it's off the ground. Okay, 10 reps each side there. Thoracic mobility. First thing, band dislocate. You can use any sort of a band. You can use a dowel if you don't have one. Grab it shoulder width, up and over. Okay, 10 to 15 there. Band overhead distraction. Set a band up here on your power rack. Loop it over. Put it around your wrist. You don't have to hold on to it with your hand because then that tenses up the muscles in your arms and you're worried about it slipping. So get it around your wrist, put your fingers through. Paul just wants to go on the side here. From there, I'm going to try to get this arm back behind my body, like I'm in a good overhead position. I'm going to come at me with tension on here. I'm going to externally rotate my humerus. Okay, so I'm trying to get my palm facing up. And I'm just going to try to get that arm behind my body. Incredible stretch in my lats and pecs right now. Feeling traction throughout the shoulder. I'm just working on getting that arm behind my body. Okay, for that one, you're going to hold it for 30 seconds to a minute on each side. Up next, now that we've mobilized that area, scap push-ups. Okay, notice the arms stay straight, glutes and abs are tight, and all the movement is coming from retraction and protraction of the scapula. Next one, roll over on the floor. Scap floor slides. Now, I do these sometimes in place of scap wall slides, and they're actually a little bit easier because you bring the feet up and they're flat on the ground. It eliminates that low back hurt. So that's a common compensation that people have when they're doing the scap wall slides. They overarch in the lower back because they don't have the mobility in the thoracic spine. So think of this as a regression. I do both. Okay, at the top, think about, I'm reaching my fingertips as far as I can. I'm trying to touch that wall behind me. Then I'm going to keep the hands flat on the ground, elbows flat on the ground, slide my elbows down to the side, bring the shoulder blades back and together. Okay, stretch the fingertips, down again. Okay, pretty simple. The next one is the X-band block. Bit of glute activation here. You know, I guess focuses on the glute knee. That's going to help you with that knee out position. Okay, just pay attention to the setup here. I step on the band, so it's right across the arches of my feet. Make a cross in it, pull it up. Now, common mistake here is people bend over. Get in a good posture position. Good posture, then you're just going to step sideways. You're going to do about 10 in one direction, and then 10 back. Again, always good posture, good position. Glute march. I think I stole this from track and field. It's one of the common wall acceleration drill. Now you're going to get on roughly a 45 to 60 degree angle, and you're going to lift up your legs alternately. So right now I'm squeezing my left glute as hard as I can. Body should be in a straight line. Okay, down, right glute as hard as I can. You want to pause in that top position for a second or so. And then the last one, just to get in some ab work. And this is more or less just to kind of get it over with, to be honest, so that I don't leave my ab work, my midsection work to the end of my workout and skip it. I'm going to do some fallouts on the ring. Like I mentioned in the previous video, I've had some back problems, so most of my midsection work now is stability based, where I have not much spinal movement going on. And but if you're someone that can tolerate it, it's perfectly fine to throw in some weighted sit-ups or ab pull downs or band wood chops or something here. Okay, right now you're going to brace, you're going to flex the butt cheeks, brace with the abs like somebody's going to punch you there. You're just going to fall out, pause, then come back to neutral. Now what we're looking for on these is that those butt cheeks are locked, your rib cage is locked to your pelvis, and that this space doesn't get any bigger. You're working anti-extension, so you don't want your spine to extend, you want it to just stay the same. Okay, so that just took you through the basic mobility work, some activation work, and the warm-up that I used for my overhead press session last night. Jordan Foley, Jacked and Strong video project.